Sure. So push pull, y'all know, right? You take the liquid out of the bottom of the chiller, put it into a cylinder, cool the cylinder by pulling vapor off the top, and then put that through your machine, cover the condenser, or flip it to hot gas, and shove it back in the top. And that's supposed to create a pressure differential to help push the liquid out. Hence the name push pull. You're pulling the liquid and pushing the hot gas back in the top. The problem with that is your recovery machine is tiny compared to the size of the chiller. So if you're taking that heat and you're putting it into a chiller, it's just a giant heat sink. It immediately condenses back to a liquid. You're not getting the advantage of the hot gas at all. And so really you're just having to recover the same thing twice. If you do a pull, you're just pulling off the bottom of the chiller, putting it into a cylinder, subcooling the cylinder, and then condensing it with an oversized condenser or whatever you can do to get it as cold as possible and putting it into another cylinder. And I know it's like, again, it's super simple, and it doesn't seem like it would make a huge difference, but every pound or ounce of refrigerant that you recover, you don't want to have to do it twice. So,
Yeah, and when he says subcool the cylinder, he just means you're reducing the pressure in the cylinder. So essentially, you're taking the suction port of your recovery machine, pulling off the top of that cylinder, and it's just physics. It'll just move because there's a lower pressure there than in the machine. And then he just takes off of that top of that tank into his recovery machine, and from that recovery machine into the other tank that is in ice water or some sort of a condenser or something that's going to, condense that at the same time. So you're recovering that at the same time, which I think is brilliant, actually. Because like you say, you're recovering the same vapor multiple times.
Yeah.
Push-pull method, which I think makes a lot of sense. It's just not something that, I mean, I think most people were taught push-pull method for recovering refrigerant, switching things around and going crazy. But, I mean, you don't even have to really change that much when you switch to vapor, right? I mean, everything is exactly the same. So
you literally just take that hose off the chiller, or not off the chiller, but off the what we call the pull tank, but off the liquid tank, right? The receiving tank.
Yeah.
And you stuff it onto the inlet of the recovery machine. So switching from liquid to vapor is really fast.
Yeah.
So I need to kind of illustrations. I had a whole pile of this stuff because I used to teach this all the time back at Rapid Days, but I don't have access to that stuff anymore. But I'm sure we can mock something up and share it out with the group, because it's not rocket science as far as the diagrams go. So I could probably reach out to some of my buddies over at Agast, and they can ship me some stuff. Although they might not be happy I'm giving away their super trade secrets right now.
Well, just keep an eye out, you guys, too, on YouTube. I can go ahead and I can make a quick diagram to explain what he's showing while we're talking to it, and I'll just put it next to his face on YouTube, so you can see the diagram while he's explaining it.
Yeah. Tom, this is such a cool question. He said, "Have you experienced an electrostatic discharge from the friction?" I heard that's a thing when you're going really fast. Yeah, it's awesome. We did a lot of recoveries on particularly grocery stores in the middle of the night, and they got they have 3 hours to get this whole thing done, recovered, repaired, change out a condensing tower, whatever, and then put the gas back in and get it back running. And so we would have to do like entire grocery stores in like an hour. Which, you want to talk about fast? I mean, we could make a grocery store go. I think our record was we got an 800-pound rack done in 12 minutes. So now we're using the rack to help, but there are definitely tricks for that too. But anyway, when you're moving that much liquid through a hose that fast, like when you're switching tanks, because we're filling a 240 like every 30 seconds on the liquid port. I mean, it's so fast. It's basically just pouring in there, and when you go to switch tanks and you're like got your hands on this thing and you move it down to the tank, it starts arcing across like an inch above the valve or above the brass. Like, so you're watching it like a spark plug as you bring it down. It's very cool. Sorry, like I said, I kind of geek out about it, but this is one of those things that's like, that's so cool. First time I saw it, I was, like a 12-year-old's like, that's so cool. You want to do it again, except for you got to do a job, so you can't. But it's really neat.